Today we're foraging 4 wild herbs to help you sleep. The first is Mugwort. It's a deep muscle relaxant and will help your body release any tension and get ready for a great night's sleep. It can also lead to quite lucid dreams, so just a small amount is fine. The second is pineapple weed, which is also known as wild chamomile, and it has all the same medicine and properties as regular chamomile. It contains plenty of flavonoids, which have a sedative effect. The third is lavender, which can often be found in the wild as a garden escapee. And finally, we have lemon balm, which is used to help with stress, anxiety, and insomnia. I love using a combination of these herbs in a sleepy tea or even in a simple herbal bath. I simply rub a few handfuls of my chosen herbs to release their oils and add them to the bath too. Today we're making a magical healing daisy balm. Daisies have long been known as gardener's friend because they have the amazing ability to help soothe tired, achy muscles and also to help heal up bruises in the same way as arnica. To make your daisy balm, start by gathering a small basket of daisies and drying them out in baskets on a sunny windowsill. When they're completely crisp and dry, usually after about 2 days, pack a small jar and pour over oil. I used a sweet almond oil. You could use jojoba as well. Leave in a sunny space for 3 to 4 days. When your oil is infused, melt 2 grams of beeswax over a double burner and add your oil little by little. You can also add some essential oil. I used clary sage. Give everything one last mix to combine, pour into one of these tiny little jam jars, tap out any air bubbles, top with a daisy, put the lid on and leave to set overnight. And that's your daisy balm done. Rub into achy shoulders or over bruises so they heal up nice and quickly.
I'm on my period, so let's blend some cramp tea. Red raspberry leaf tones and nourishes the uterus and supports reduction of cramps. Chamomile is anti-inflammatory and supports digestion and reduction of period pain. Ginger is antispasmodic and anti-inflammatory, supports uterine circulation and digestive function. Cramp bark is antispasmodic for pain and cramping of the uterus. Vitex supports overall hormonal balance. Parsley supports reduction of water retention and stimulates menstrual flow. I love this blend and I've been making it for 8 years now, and it's always a favorite among my clients. Cramp tea will be available when the Moontime Apothecary shop launches on October 31st.
Mugwort is a deeply magical plant, but she's also incredibly useful for our physical health, and she has 3 main areas of action in our bodies. Number 1, she supports digestive health. Number 2, she supports our nervous system. And number 3, she has an affinity for the female reproductive system. So what does this look like? In your digestive system, she is a bitter herb, so she acts as a gentle stimulant, getting your liver working properly, getting the bile flow going. So if your digestive system is sluggish, perhaps you suffer from constipation, then mugwort is a really useful addition. In the female reproductive system, her bitter action helps to stimulate menstruation. So if you've got delayed periods, she can be really helpful to bring these on. So obviously you don't want to use mugwort if you're pregnant. And her warming, relaxing properties, her pungent nature, can help to reduce cramping and painful periods as well. So really useful for female health. And she's a nervous system tonic. So what that means is she helps to ease really deep-seated tension, especially if it's connected with feeling numb or disconnected from your own body. So if you'd like to learn more about the magical medicines of mugwort, don't forget to like, follow and comment.
Did you know that you can make natural skincare moisturizer using medicinal flowers? During the past summer, we grew and collected loads of medicinal flowers to make natural skincare products. We did a quick infusion of lavender, calendula and chamomile in olive oil for a few hours. We strained the oil and combined it with shea butter and cocoa butter in a double boiler. Once melted, we allowed it to cool down to room temperature and whisked to aerate the moisturizer. Store it in a jar and use it to naturally nourish your skin. Follow for more tips.
This herb is a natural remedy for anxiety and stress, and it can help improve sleep quality. Lucky for me, it grows wild in my backyard, so let's harvest some. Passionflower, or Passiflora incarnata, is considered a nervine, and in case you've forgotten, these are herbs that interact directly with the nervous system to promote feelings of relaxation. When I'm making tea, I personally like to pair passionflower with oat straw, holy basil, or motherwort.
4 ways to preserve fresh herbs and enjoy flavor all year round. Let's start with herb buns. As the season wraps up, we traditionally harvest all our herbs to store them for winter and stocking up our pantry. Choose any herb you fancy for this recipe. First, remove the leaves, setting aside the stems for stock. Roughly chop the leaves, then spoon about 1 teaspoon into each ice cube tray compartment and drench with olive oil. Freeze and pop them out when you're cooking dishes like those tasty roasted potatoes. The second technique involves salt, perhaps the most popular herb preservation method. And guess what? You can whip up your blend in just 5 minutes. Spread the mixture on a baking tray, let it air dry at room temperature, store it in jars, and the best part is it gets even better over time. Our third method is butter. I went with plant-based butter, but pick your favorite. Infuse it with lemon zest and combine all ingredients in a bowl. Transfer to compostable cling wrap, roll it tightly, and chill until it's firm. And finally, infuse the oil. Whether you air dry or use a dehydrator, ensure your herbs feel crispy at the touch. Add both stems and leaves to a jar and submerge in your preferred carrier oil. 3 medicinal flowers that you can grow in your garden. Calendula. Calendula holds powerful healing effects. You can dry the flowers and make your own skin salve that has strong anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial benefits. Lavender. Lavender is the holy grail of stress relief. Infuse the petals in oil to aid in headaches, anxiety, and better sleep. Nasturtium. Nasturtiums are jam-packed with antioxidants, vitamin C and iron. Every part of the plant is edible with potent anti-inflammatory properties.
Yes, this is exactly what I need right now.
Hi friends, this is Old Man's beard.
Its sciencey name is Usnea longissima.
It's really easy to identify because it's got a stretchy elastic bit in the middle.
But I need this right now because I'm getting a little bit sniffly, and this is always my solution.
It was windy last night, and look, the dogs found more that's fallen.
We only collect Usnea that's fallen because it grows very slowly.
It's also very important for the forest, so it can actually absorb the toxins in the air, and it filters them out to give us cleaner air, acting like the lungs of the forest. If you live somewhere that does not have clean air, you won't find this because it absorbs enough toxins, it turns black and dies.
But guess what? It's highly medicinal.
It's got antibiotic properties, it's antiviral, and it has a special affinity for the lungs, which can be a problem as the weather changes.
Not because the weather makes us sick, but sometimes it lowers our immune system, and this is also a powerful immune modulator. That means it can correct both an overactive and underactive immune system.
The properties of this medicine was shared to us by the indigenous people. We are right now on the unceded, occupied territories of the Usnea people. To get both the antiseptic as well as the immune modulating properties from the Usnea, you need to do a double extraction tincture.
That means extracting both in alcohol and in water.
And I have this tincture ready for you. Just ask me where to get it. Love you guys. Peace.
If you aren't making overnight infusions with your nutritive herbs, you're quite literally missing out on the full potential they have to offer you. Scientific studies have shown that it takes at least 4 to 8 hours for a significant amount of minerals to extract into water. So for instance, if you were to make a cup of nettle tea and only steep it for 5 to 10 minutes, you're only going to get about 5 to 10 milligrams of calcium. But if you were to let it infuse for 4 hours to overnight, you would potentially get up to 500 milligrams of calcium per cup, as well as all the other vitamins and minerals needed to assimilate that calcium. Now, not all herbs require a long steep time. In fact, some are better when steeped for a shorter period of time, and this is just overall better than drinking plain water throughout the day, and it takes little to no time to prepare. Part of my nighttime ritual has been to make my infusion before I go to bed, and that way it steeps all night and is ready for me the next day.
You see how I organize my witchy supplies? Very mindful, very demure. You see how my witchy books are all organized, neat and tidy? Very mindful, very demure.
Celtic folklore suggests that drinking this Cleaver infusion every day for 9 weeks will make you so beautiful that everybody will fall in love with you. Cleavers are arguably one of the most important and effective lymphatic tonic herbs in the world, meaning they help to flush out toxins, decreasing congestion and reducing swelling. They're also great for the immune system and are currently being studied on their ability to inhibit cancer cell growth. Topically, they may help to combat eczema and psoriasis. Cleavers have an extensive global presence and can be found abundantly for most of the year. It's also known as goosegrass as it is the favourite food of geese. It has many other names including sticky willy, gripgrass and sticking bob. This is such a simple yet nutritious recipe. All you will need to do is collect your cleavers, wash them, chop them and then put them in water. Then pop in the fridge overnight, strain and drink. Enjoy!
This is a dream cake, not just because it tastes dreamy. It's made with a herb called mugwort, which the Saxons used for dream ceremonies. It was believed that consuming or inhaling mugwort could induce vivid and lucid dreams, where one could experience prophetic visions and deepen one's connection to the dream realm. Nowadays, mugwort is used as an ingredient in rice cakes and sweet dumplings in East Asian baking. It lends a slightly bitter, aromatic flavour similar to matcha, and it works perfectly in this fluffy lemon loaf with rosewater icing.
Thousands of years, if you were injured on the battlefield, your wound was probably packed with yarrow, since it's one of the best herbs we have to stop bleeding, and that's why it also goes by the name soldier's woundwort. If you find it fresh, you can turn it into a poultice by chewing it up and packing it into the wound, but since it's not always close by, I like to keep some powdered in my Herbalist first aid kit. You can use a high-speed blender or traditional mortar and pestle to powderize your herb, then sprinkle a bit of yarrow in the wound before wrapping it up in a bandage. I did this last weekend when I cut my finger and thought I needed stitches, and it stopped the bleeding super fast. It was awesome.
When I was in university, I studied chemistry because to me, that was the closest thing to being a little witch on her way to Hogwarts as I could get. And although I loved working in the lab, I hated the toxic chemicals I was working with. I wanted to go a more traditional route, something closer to nature. So I found herbalism. Slowly, I've been foraging my own herbs and building my own little apothecary, creating magical little potions that bring me joy and aren't harmful to the planet. The healing power of nature is something that is being lost in our modern world, so my goal is to share that with you in hopes of fostering a generation of stewards of the forest.
Why should I bathe in tea instead of a bath bomb? That's a question I get a lot. I personally stopped using bath bombs years before I started Enoki Bathhouse. The ingredients in bath bombs always made my skin feel itchy. I didn't like the idea of bathing in so many chemicals, and the artificial fragrances were always overpowering. I started bathing in tea because I reminisced of bathhouses that I visited when I was in Asia. Bathhouses that used ingredients that made my skin feel so nourished, and it smelled like an absolute dream. What you put on your skin matters, and what you soak in also matters. Tea baths are packed with antioxidants, minerals, and vitamins that protect and nourish the skin. I do want to say not all tea baths are made the same, but I highly recommend it to anyone to try.